Hey, what's up guys, Mashine here, come back with a brand new video for you guys. Today we've got a couple different topics we're going to be hitting on, so let's just hop on into it. First up here, we got to talk about what's going on with Outsiders and VP. Now, if you've looked on the market recently, you can just see what's going on with Outsiders. I mean, it's quite obvious that the sticker is going up significantly higher than it was really at any point. And this is because that VP, or the organization of VP, I mean, they're both the same team, but the organization is trying to make a comeback as the name VP. Recently, they had to undergo that transition to the Outsiders because of the Russian endorsement that VP had, and therefore they weren't able to compete under the name of VP, so they had to switch over to Outsiders so they could keep that position in the major. Now it seems like they're trying to head back over to that name VP. Now, from my understanding of it, VP is currently only returning to Dota 2. I still believe they're keeping the Outsider name for CSGO for now. I don't know if that's just an issue going on where they have to kind of prove it to the event organizers that they're no longer Russian affiliated, because I know there was a lot of issues going on there in the first place. From my understanding, it's only Dota 2 for now, but I think it's reasonable to expect, and honestly, we don't like to assume a lot of things here, but this is something that you can make a pretty safe assumption that they're trying to get that CSGO team back under the name VP as well, because the Outsiders is not doing anything for them as an organization. They want the name VP, and I think they're planning to work pretty hard to get it. I mean, obviously they've got their Dota 2 team back, so I don't see a reason why they would stop there. And I'm usually not someone to ask questions, but I'm interested to know if you guys think that when the major comes around, perhaps they qualify. Do you think they're going to be under the name Outsiders, or do you think they're going to be under the name VP? Second thing I want to talk about is obviously the Twitch gambling ban, and I've seen a lot of things going on about this. You've got some people that are very positive for CSGO cases because they believe all of these gambling people are going to move over to them, and then you've got some people that are on the more neutral side saying this could potentially do something and it also could not. I'm definitely on that second ladder because I believe that there is definitely going to be some impact towards CSGO, but I don't think it's going to be very large, and in my opinion, I don't think there's going to be really too much going on at all. The thing is, a lot of these people that are gambling on Twitch are doing so because they're under sponsorship. If I was getting millions of dollars to gamble every month, obviously I would be out there on Twitch gambling, but the thing is, a lot of people don't have that opportunity, so those who do take advantage of it. I think this is why we see a lot of people gambling on Twitch, is because there's a lot of money in gambling. If you've looked at CSGO gambling websites before, even Jeff has this video about how much they offered to pay him, and that's still going on today with some YouTubers. I think it's definitely something you need to be wary of, especially with CSGO gambling, because there are some people that will still promote it, but I think it's definitely something that we can't really expect a lot of people to switch over to CSGO cases, because that's not the reason they're gambling. They're not gambling for a gambling addiction. Rather, they're gambling because there's more money in it. Now, that is my personal opinion, and obviously you're more than welcome to disagree with it. Overall, I just can't see a reason why these people that are now gambling millions of dollars are for some reason going to stop and start gambling $4 at a time on CSGO. It just doesn't really make sense to me. Alright, so the next thing we gotta dive into is something that's just very recently happened, so it's gonna be a little bit hard to understand. But basically, around a week ago, someone by the name of DeGoat came into CSGO because their account was Steam banned or trade banned or game banned. Honestly, I can't remember what specifically, but basically they couldn't trade their skins. Now this information is gone because the account's been deleted, but what had happened was the Twitter community for CSGO pretty much picked this person up, and I believe it's a he, so they picked him up and they were able to help him get his account unbanned. And what he did is he started hosting a lot of giveaways. See, on his Steam account, he had around $200,000 to $300,000 worth of CSGO skins, so he seems like someone that could be pretty reputable. From there, DeGoat picked up a bunch of different content creators to help host giveaways, and in doing so, he gained a lot of trust and plus rep by all of these people. I mean, obviously, if someone was going to sponsor a giveaway, these people definitely had to make sure that this person was not just a malicious intent to kind of just gain reputation and then exit scam, which is ironically what ended up happening. But basically, DeGoat went ahead and partnered with a lot of different content creators, and one of them being Mateo Cat. Now, Mateo Cat and DeGoat would have the quote-unquote strongest connection, because Mateo Cat would be vouching for DeGoat in some trades, and we'll get to that in just a second. What would happen was Mateo Cat would vouch that that he would send the money to someone by the name of Fox if the GOAT would not send over this money, and ironically that's exactly what happened. But now Mateo Cat is trying to go back on what he said, basically saying he would only vouch for one of the 3 deals. Now, I don't know if he doesn't really get what vouching means, but when you vouch for someone in the CSGO community, you're basically co-signing a loan, basically taking full ownership if that deal does not go through successfully. That's what a middleman is when you're not trying to go ahead and deal with the actual middleman activity. So it's quite interesting to see that Mateo Cat is now going to be in hot water, potentially losing his reputation if he does not fix up this situation. Now, the overall situation of the scam is this. Basically, he being the GOAT, exited with around $50,000 worth of items, worth of stuff. But the thing is, he did give away around 5,000, so he made a net profit of 40 to 45,000 in the span of around a month by exit scamming. Now, in Zipple's Twitlonger here, you can see that he says he scammed Mateo Cat, and I definitely think that is the case. Mateo Cat is currently responsible to pay back first the 25,000 that he vouched he would, but I also personally think that he's responsible to pay for the rest of the deals that were set up with the GOAT. I mean, that just makes sense. It doesn't make sense that you would vouch for one deal with one person and not another. So it's going to be interesting to see how that situation plays out. But the biggest thing falls onto Mateo Cat here, being the person that vouched for the GOAT. And what is probably the most ironic reason of exit scamming is that he is a gambling addict, according to Zipple, which falls right in line with what we had just previously mentioned with Twitch. It's definitely an interesting but unfortunate situation, but it goes to show you, I assume most people that watch my videos don't have a reputation, but I will never understand why you would vouch for someone that you don't know in real life. Mateo Cat ran into this problem here because he was vouching for someone he had never met. 3 days ago, as when I'm recording this, and 4 days by the time you're seeing this, I made a tweet that says, I think we're about 3 to 6 days away from a Jesus video on the GOAT, and ironically, I think we are now probably going to receive a full video. He said second channel here. I don't really know what that means because I couldn't find anything on the second channel, but I can say this is confidently not what I thought was going to happen when I made this tweet. Now, if you want the full story, I kind of gave you the brief rundown, but if you want to see a little bit more, you can head over to FoxSin_CS on Twitter. He is the person that was allegedly scammed and now is trying to get his money back from Mateo, and that's the whole situation there, because it's very interesting if Mateo is going to, 1, pay off what's going on here, and 2, if he doesn't, how his reputation is going to suffer, because in my opinion, that's the whole point of vouching, is that you're taking the responsibility off of the other person to allow the trade to go through. Mateo is one of the most popular middlemen, but if he's not trusted here, it's going to be very interesting to see how overall his reputation is going to respond one way or another. As always, make sure you're extremely careful, and honestly, be very wary of people who are coming in and giving away mass amounts of money. They're doing so for a reason, and it's probably not the reason you want it to be. But as always, guys, I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.